Māori comes in. So it supports the student to engage with the science. So if you went to talk to kids about fungi, they may not get it until you start to talk to them about Kodi dieback, especially if you're living in the north. So that's, that's your context, and that brings in all the mātauranga Māori, mātauranga Māori that is appropriate for that situation. You'd be getting kids to talk to people, to their whānau, about why is this happening? What happened in the olden days? What do you think might be a way to sort this out? You're actually always referring to another body of knowledge as well as a scientific body of knowledge. But as long as you've sort of got the context of the student, and I'm pretty sure there's for every scientific concept, especially in Te Aotearoa, there's a context for these kids, and it's a context that makes them have to think about, because it's about something going wrong, it's about climate change or whatever, that you'd be hard-pressed not to find a context that's applicable to Māori kids in the whole science concept area.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what this resource does so well, because there are just such interesting ancient knowledges, or ways that Hekaheka, quite specialised ways that Hekaheka can use. So clearly that's a really strong hook, isn't it, for a Māori student, or for anybody, I think. It's just so interesting.
Yeah, it's sort of good to get to not be involved in that argument between science, knowledge and mātauranga. It's not an argument, and especially
it's not appropriate for primary schools. It's something that I think that on the Pūtau teacher training programs that I've taught in, we have to talk about it a bit. But even for those students, it's not that helpful for them to get too caught up in.
Yeah.
Nā te mehe Māori tātou, we don't have to have that discussion. But,
What if you flip that all on the too, and teach from this cultural context that I was talking about, and then it's whakaako topic for all the other requirements that to serve the marau out there, or you don't even teach that. So I'll give an example. So if you look at Mara, and we start with Atua, we start with relevant karakia, whakatauki, kōrero, whakapapa, and all of that stuff. It's been a whole lot of time in that space before you actually get to kumara and all of that stuff. That's what you teach. A karaiko job is to pull those things out, because whether we like it or not, we get funded by the system. And all they do is pull out the relevant, whether you're talking NCA level 1 out of that money to support. So when we do Mara, we might say kumara, that there'll be teaching things based around that one activity, and there'll be components of cultural, practical. We're lucky we live in the 90s, so they have to get in there, and Ngaki and Auhaki, the whenua and all of that stuff, so we can do that. And then there's the style aspect to that, so those are the components. And from there, you get a set of criteria, and then you get your aromata way out of that. Don't teach that.
That's right. You don't have a topic called Rodel here and teach that. You don't have a topic called Taio.
No.
So that's why I mean, like, those are sort of ways to organise the science content.
Right.
But how you plan and teach your program is a different thing together.
It is no clash with science.
But I mean, this could be a good topic.
One of the things why, there are a couple of things why we get. One is that whakatauki, that'll get uki whenua pene rākei whenua, so that you concentrate conversation and preservation, we get you a prosperous land. So that's why we have to learn it. The other one is really around about we're at a stage now where we want to our money at the moment is making the invisible visible. So we've done all this stuff above the ground. Now we're working with Matua Alfred and a whole lot of his friends at Lincoln and whatever to unpack that. But they also know that it's not about their science, it's about our ends. And they help us work through that and navigate through that. that's looking exciting. We're at the front end of what we have, but what I'm really saying is that we've gone away from Marawi this and Marawi that, and we've just gone in, and I think we're lucky because we live in the middle of the so we don't have the golfers down the road and the papa, so we can truly work together, find Pakeke or whatever, and it's involved indoors and involved in participation. Our mission is to whakatiku rangatira, but that's not just about tamariki. That's about Pakeke, that's about, so we all sit in the classroom. We have kaumatu in there, we're all learning. We're not only delivering, but we're also learning with our tamariki. So we only been at it for about 18 months now, and it's an environment that we all love, and we it's hard because of the people that are saying you need to do this and that. But I suppose where we get a lot of energy from is in talking to others. What do you do? Why do you do that? Oh, okay. And I think the more we have those conversations, I think that start get a better understanding, I suppose, what we're trying to do. But that's kind of what we do for.
Can I just see something out a little bit more there? I think that there's a very fundamental difference between Western science and Ngā Hekaheka, and that is that from my Western science perspective, it was very well illustrated in the discussion about the DNA in the Kāori diagram. So from a Western viewpoint, we go towards reducing it down, looking at the elements that make something up. But my view is that with an Aotearoa viewpoint, we start with the relationships. We start with whakapapa. And for example, when we were talking about how we don't know how many fungi reproduce, well, in actual fact, to actually reproduce, they require often a relationship with the bacteria. And so what I find now is the way I approach asking my scientific questions is very much affected by an understanding of the importance of the primary importance of the relationships between things, which I think is expressed in whakapapa in all of that part of that world. So I think we've got to be honest about what the fundamental differences are and the different strengths and weaknesses are as we develop curricula.
Sure. I wouldn't disagree with any of that. And I'm not here to tell you the math. This is the only part, I'm the only person that's going to be talking about the curriculum. Okay? But I did think it was kind of important to make the link.
Yep.
You know, we made the resource, it stands on its own, but I did want to point out the way in which it is into the curriculum.
I'll just say one more thing. Over the years, since I've been back up north, we have a lot of like novel taiao, and they're all environmentally based and Māori runners, and kids from schools and stuff. And at the beginning, we'd get the kids out to do riparian planting. You spend all afternoon doing that. They didn't know why they were doing that. And, I mean, that was just the nature of, I suppose, getting a few kids in, from all over the place and spending a small amount of time. And then when I went into one of the kura in Kaitaia, Puke Middle kura, and did a little bit of teaching last year, we the idea was to really get those kids to understand it. This is true Western science, Mrs. Green. Because unless they know Mrs. Green, they can't do anything more. They don't, how can you plant a plant there and not know about that, how that plant, why it's classified as a living organism and how it carries out, blah, blah, blah. And I think what I'm trying to encourage is, the trouble is, we sometimes, the scientific knowledge, the way it's presented in the curriculum, is so much stuff. But you've got to be able to get down to those really basic science concepts that, every kid needs to know about in order to live their life in the future, really, and then that's, with kids in kura, Māori kids, you can't really just focus on that. That's when mātauranga Māori and my nanny did it this way, and then they'll understand, oh, well, must be because of this. So, yeah, it's not, as I said before, it's not mātauranga Māori versus science concept. It's how our kids interpret their world. They need both, yeah. That's all.
Kia ora tātou. Te ahu nei kua tai ki te wā mo te kai wainga nui rā. Te kai mo te hiningaro, te kai mo te tino. Reira, ka whakapainga ki nei kai. Nau mai i ngā hua o te wā o te ngākina. Te wai kai o te wai Māori. Nā tāne, nā rongo, nā haungi, nā tangaroa, nā maru. Ko rangi nui e tui no nei ko whakatua nuku o tako te waki nei. Turu turo o piti whakamau ki a tīna. Kui e tā ai, e kai.
Just popping back out to finish. Sorry, I thought I would let Kuamatu o rātou kōrero and ka tau mai te kai. So that's the resource Ngā Hekaheka o Aotearoa. It's get it he puka here. He Hoia Publishers. So what I'll do is I'll put it all on the site so you know where to get it from. This is the student book. You get about 30 student books with one kaiako book and yeah, it's a really great resource that that was produced. So we're very fortunate by Peter Buchanan, who's one of the kaiako here today, or from Manaaki Whenua, Dr. Georgina Stewart, of course, and Henry Jacob was also involved in production of this. So this is our kaupapa today. So I'll love you and leave you all and hope you got a little bit out of our workshop we're having. Nā, ka kite.